One who is born to discern the beauty in the darkest and ugliest of places. It is knowing not to tempt it out, but only to watch and admire. It is hearing the songs in the rain and the wind, and pouring lifeblood through the quill onto the page. It is hiding in the darkness to consort with the demons, and dancing with the shadows of the moon. It is to think and to notice. It is to gaze into the forbidden, and laugh at life's curses and gifts. It is an arc of color into a world that is otherwise gray, and occasionally unforgiving of the luminescent souls splashing into the unlighted spaces.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
Define poetry.
Define poetry.
Define poetry.
Define poetry.
Poetry is
Poetry life. Poetry is.
Poetry life.
Poetry is. Poetry life.
my life as a poet.
Is.
Is.
In an effort to define poetry life, I found myself in this alternate reality, thinking of poetry as this masterful artistry, this muse of movement and the lyricism of the words in which we speak. I found myself frustrated for days trying to come up with the ways to explain poetry life, as if poetry and life are two separate entities that poets have somehow twined together by speaking so eloquently about the birds and the bees. But the more I pondered, the more I really understood that there is no life without poetry. For me, poetry is the definition of waking. It's taking a breath, unprompted, walking the streets undaunted. It's tapping our feet to the rhythm of our own beat. It's the unexplainable explained, the drainage of the drained. It's an eerie kind of strange. It's moving our bodies in waves, overlapping the ways in which we were taught to move. Poetry, defined in life, is beyond measure. It's meters running in meters, moving the messages from the minds of dreamers, the truth seekers. Poetry breaks up the mediocrity with an apothecary of melodies, forming the words like the treasure sunken in the octave C. Poetry life is more than a byline. It's more than a dope rhyme. It's more than flowers and colors. It's about time and how there isn't much left. So we cling to the things that are beautiful, like poetry, and how everything beyond our imagination is a mystery, and how the most mundane things are the things we grow to miss the most. It's elementary. A life without poetry is dead to me.
There stands the poet. The life of a poet is a life well noted, where the fleeting moments once floated and toted memories and dreams are now eroded. There stands our poet. And you will note that the throat is the conduit through which all man's voice is heard, that spoken word serving what souls, hearts, and minds alike burningly yearn for, the things that we turn towards, our timeless concern for, life's journeys from which we all learn more. Unfurling meanings like words of wisdom in the wind, discerning the bends where endings begin and our beginnings end. Poetry's presence stands tall, recalling it all, recollecting our collection of experiences, resurrecting the essence of our being, be it through the lyrical scheming or rapid reactive rhymes. Poets tell our long-tailed tales that sail the seas of time. There stands the poet, and the life of a poet is well noted, where the fleeting moments once floated and toted memories and dreams have now eroded. There stands our poet. The written word breaking us free from our mental prisons, deriving deep descriptions, those potent prescriptions of inventiveness, stylizing and clarifying our actions like adverbs, ameliorating our sentences. If artists are to draw on the canvas of space and drum rhythms fill the canvas of time, then the poets take both to deeper depths, singing syncopated pics on the canvases of our minds. They depict our deepest pleasures, fears, hopes, interests, instincts, endeavors. A poet's words reap rewards and service eternal, pass from one journal to the next, to the next, to the nexus. Yes, it's their words that live forever. Yes, it's a poet's life that lives forever. There stands the poet. Your lives are duly noted, and where fleeting moments once floated and toted memories and dreams have now eroded, there we will always have our poets.
Where is the poet? Are they in the library or at the club? Do they spend time in the street or nights lost in love? Which instrument do they select? To which beat do they march? Do they shout from the rooftops or whisper in the dark? The beat is the spirit, the instrument is all breath. It leads one to great heights and takes one to great depths. In death it leads on, in struggle it empowers, from one's first elation even to one's final hour. To where does it go and from whence does it come? El alma vive siempre. It goes on and on, a struggle of small battles like a game of eternal ping pong. Sing song, fight strong, live long, the cards you are dealt like tiles of mahjong. It's not what you have nor what you do not, it is a perspective by which you view life, a reflection of one's blessings like a meal with friends over hot pot. With freedoms unbound nor quantified, the poet does not look different on the outside or external, a passion that cannot be extinguished nor talent petrified, their heart beats steady with a burst eternal. A fire that kindles grace, a forced smile making pain displace. A constant symphony, a heavenly foretaste, without needing to proselytize. It is not the voice that makes the poet, rather it is the eyes.
Humanity is defined as all human beings collectively, the human race. Humanity is defined as the quality of being humane, kindness, benevolence, goodwill. We may not be perfect, but still there is good to be found in every one of us. That person right in front of us is composed of the same flesh and bone that our own bodies house. We all arrive into this world in a very similar state, innocent, loud, beautiful. And though we all grow in unique and individual ways, each one of us stays beautiful, in appearance as well as in heart. We are divine works of art that double as sentient entities, complex identities that have the propensity to boast our own density and downplay so often the utter immensity of our amazing potential. Humanities is defined as literature, language, philosophy, art, etc. So no matter the dialect or debate, by sweat of the brow or by fate, we are human and therefore we are art. We are a spark set ablaze in poetry. We are life born into culture. We are culture birthed by our breath. We are passion and depth. We are more than mere mortals here waiting for death. We are the meeting ground and matrimony between all dichotomies. We are where good meets evil, where laughter knows grief, where darkness finds light, where wrongs learn their rights. We are the prodigy offspring of chaos and peace. The universe expands infinitely in every direction, which means at any odd second, each one of us stands at the middle of all things in existence. And at the center of all lies the truth. We are everything and nothing all the same. Yet we remain more than a body or name. We are joy never ending. We are sorrow and strife. We are human, art, beauty, poetry. We are poet life.